the results are in. So let's chat about it. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Good Times with Retro Rich. Yes, that's right. It's time for the community prompts. That's right. Where we go through last week's video talking about all of the cool things that happened over the week in this week's question. Get some answers, talk about those answers, be surprised by some things, and then share some more things, which is awesome. Love talking to you guys. These are one of the, like, legitimately some of the most favorite videos that I do, because I actually get to talk with you guys and like have a conversation. We get to share things and you know, I kind of get to bring you guys in and get you guys involved, which is really cool. So for last week's question was, what is your favorite travel game? What game has to be with you on a long journey? We had 3 entrants that were not me. So that we had 3 people and then me. So that's 4 answers you're about to hear. And then we're going to get to the next question for next week. How does this all work? Well, let's go through it. You get the prompt question for the next week, which we'll go through as soon as we're done answering these questions. You've got to get in your answers by Saturday, 2 p.m. EST. So for next week, it'll be the 13th of July. You got to get them in by the 13th of July, just after the Evercast, just a little bit after. You got to get those answers in, because that's the cutoff. I won't read any more from past then. You know, if you sneak in right then and there, you know, I'm gonna get you in. But I usually do the recording on Sunday, but I want to make sure that I cut it off just in case we have to do it early. You know, say Sunday's gonna be super busy. I want to do the recording on a Saturday night. It's the 2 p.m. deadline, so just be careful on that one. Then you've got all answers will be read from this video. So right now, when you're watching this video, if you put your answers right here or in the community tab posting for the same video, you want to go in there and put in your answers there as well. Now, I've been pretty poor on doing the community post on the tab, so I'll make sure that I go back in and I do those things. So make sure that we get them in on either the community tab posting or this video. This video is preferred because I just want to go to one place and kind of get everything all, so I can like produce all of the things I need to do. And then, of course, my answer will be provided in the video as well. So when I ask a community prompt, you're not just going to only get your answers kind of circulated up against each other. You're also going to get my answer as well at the end, which is really kind of cool. We've done really fun things. So let's get into it right now and get to answering the question. The question, of course, was, what is your favorite travel game? What game has to be with you on a long journey? We start with Gene Joke. He says, Levels Plus is his game. Going back through his answer, he says, I can relate to the mean bean frustrations. That's from last week. It was your Nemesis game. Darn, that game gets annoying. Travel game. A specific game is usually hard, but it's usually a puzzle game, which I'm kind of sensing a theme here. I have one on my phone called Levels Plus, which often ends up getting played during flights. And this, of course, is the video that I found. It's actually for the Switch version. Did you know that there's a Switch version of this game? That's pretty cool. And apparently that it's like one of those like I don't know, like like merging games. But it's got all sorts of different things. So like you can even use, see you're using like the things to get and combine, but you can actually like attack enemies and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So look at this giant board. That's pretty nuts. So anyway, it looks like, like, hey, you just build and build and build. And then I think the match the same level of yellow panels, and then you can use those. Oh, sweet. So you don't need a weapon. You just need to be at the same level or higher for the other thing. So that's kind of cool. So you just kind of like chop everything, which is kind of neat. There you go. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, this would be one of those games where if I had this on my phone, I would probably, go through and try to make all the different panels and Yeah, I'd be stuck on this for at least a good half hour, which is great because when you're on a long journey, you need to chew up time. You need something that keeps you open, keeps you awake, keeps you snappy. And yeah, this one's pretty cool. That's neat. Yeah, I'm glad that it's on Switch and mobile, because like sometimes you don't bring your Switch on things, even though it is kind of portable. But I'm glad to know that there is a mobile version of this game as well, which is cool. I might have to check this one out. It's Levels Plus was Gene Joke's answer, and thank you for the share. All right, cool. We've got next Phantom Fiction. He actually did one for almost every member of his family, but I'm going with the most iconic one there. Phantom Fiction says Tetris and Evercade and Travel Scrabble in there too. Go down here just in case we don't get any of those things. Of course, it's iconic. You got the Tetris there. My favorite game, travel game, is constantly changing. Phantom says my son will always have Tetris with him. My wife loves to play Scrabble. We have a cool travel Scrabble set. But for me, as far as video games go, I'd like to take my Evercade EXP and whatever game cart I'm hooked on at the time. Yes, there's some EXP action right there. All right, very cool, very cool. He says right now, Donut Dodo still has its claws, or should I say talons, in me. The game is so well done. Dare I say perfect? It is, and it is addicting, which is super, super cool. Yes, 100% Phantom. I do agree with the sentiment about Donut Dodo. It is such an awesome game, and I do enjoy playing it as well on the Evercade, as well as my Atari VCS, which I think is my preferred. I like to play that version on the Atari VCS. I think a little more. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because of the controller or something like that. I mean, I like the controller on the Evercade. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It's just something. Maybe it's because that's where I played it first, and I get a little sentimental about those kind of things. If I play it first on one thing, I kind of associate the game with the console somehow, unless there's such a paradigm shift in the way I'm playing, and then I gravitate towards some more things. Which ironically has changed for me. Asteroids has always been a game that I've always played exclusively on Atari consoles because it is an Atari game. But my preferred way to play is actually on Evercade or Evercade-like consoles. For instance, yesterday, all during the Evercast, I had this bad boy right in my hands, this Taito Super Pocket, and I rolled the score 3 times on Asteroids, which is pretty crazy. So anyway, that's awesome. It's cool that you have like a mix of that too. You got Scrabble, so you get the word games in there, get your puzzle games in there. You got Donut Dodo arcade action. Families having great gaming times while on trips. That is awesome, and you'll love to see it. You'll love to see that. Very cool. So thanks for the share, Phantom, on that one. And it's very, very cool. Okay, so then we've got Jamie69 coming in with a little bit something different. He's got Skyforce on the PS3 PSP Mini side, which is crazy to see. I have never heard of this one outside of like something in my head was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard of this game at some point, just a name, but I don't think I've ever played it. And it makes sense because it was a PSP Mini, and in my search for I do all this stuff. I get other like gameplay, long plays on YouTube and stuff. This one was hard to find, and then I found out the reason why it was hard to find is because not only was a PSP Mini and a PS3 Mini, one of those those games are just hard to just imagine, because not a lot of people jumped into those things, but I actually really enjoyed a lot of those. I had a PSP Go back in the day, and man, did I play tons of those minis. And for whatever reason, this one might have slipped by, but it shouldn't have for me because this was on PS Plus. Yeah, they gave this thing away, which is crazy. So I should have played this game. I should have played this game. It looks like, of course, very evocative of like your 1942, 1940, whatever, like the Capcom vertical scrolling shooters. Of course, it's in the widescreen format, so you get a lot of play to the left and right, which is awesome. You got this like pseudo 2D, 3D thing going on, which is really cool. And it's slow enough where actually I might have been able to play this one. So I should have played this a little. I should have actually, like gave this thing a chance, because sometimes I see those shooters, and especially back in the day. Anytime I saw a shmup, I was like, man, I'm terrible at these games. Nope, I don't think so. Like if it's not named Xevious, or is also Asteroids, even though Asteroids isn't technically a shmup, or a Stardust or something like that. I just wasn't having it back then. But with the Evercade and playing all these other games, I've been drawn in to this thing. But even watching this footage on this game, man, I really want to check this one out. And I got to check out Levels too, because again, love a puzzle game, and definitely love a shooter that I can actually get into and play. At this level, it looks like I could probably get through a couple levels before it got like bullet hellish and crazy. So I mean, and sometimes that's just good enough. When you're on a trip, sometimes you just need a little thing to do. If you're on a plane, a couple hours or whatever, play this one for a half hour, an hour, or whatever. Wait for the people to bring you a snack, get your snack in. Then of course go ahead and pop in another game or switch around, or maybe take a nap or something. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. So anyway, Jamie69, thanks yet again for yet another awesome entry. Thanks everyone. Thanks to Phantom. Thanks to Gene Joke for all participating in, and it's good times. So I was going to have an interactive element for this thing, but I forgot that I had started already preparing for my own trip. So my answer for this is, what do I have to have? Well, I've got to have 2 cartridges. I can't choose just one. I am that guy. I am 100%. There is no one thing that can ever get that. But now I guess maybe that's incorrect, because the one thing I have to have is a device like this. I got to have an Evercade or a Super Pocket, EXP, OG handheld, doesn't matter what. Sometimes I bring 2 because you never know, the battery might die and you forgot to charge it or something like that. Just whip out the next one. You got your spare Evercade. These things are great on a plane if you're just doing a solo trip, because you just turn it off. They all got headphone jacks, so you can get your music on and you're not bugging anyone. They've obviously they've got the cartridge slots. The cartridges are small enough. In a case, you can throw 3, 4, 5 of them in there, and you're good to go. And you can have one in the chamber, so why not? So that's pretty good too. I'm probably taking this Super Pocket with me on the trip that I'm about to go on next Friday, or this coming Friday, I should say. And I'm gonna, maybe I'm gonna take this one to just see, how it feels on the entire trip, and then take the EXP maybe as a spare, just in case. Of course, for battery life issues and that kind of thing. But the battery on this thing, the battery on the Super Pocket, I don't know if you guys noticed, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good time. So anyway, what are the carts? What do I have to bring? If you've been watching this channel for any longer than, I don't know, 2 seconds, you've probably answered the question yourself. Of course, those answers are: we've got to have the cart. We got to have the cart. Got to have Pico Collection 1. And the reason I can't show it to you is because it's not in here. Why is it not in here? Because it's already in the case for my white regular Evercade EXP, which is coming with me on this trip. I was holding off to see if I was going to get early shipping notifications for the VSR and the EXPR, because I was going to think about maybe taking the EXPR on a trip. But a long trip that we go on 2 weeks later, I might be able to. I might be getting that EXPR on the last day or something like that, so I can just grab it and go, and then use that on the trip. Really kind of put it through its paces. Maybe do a review, shoot some videos and that kind of stuff over there. But it's not the only one. I like a VS. I always take 2. Because Pico 1's got so many good games on it. All right, so yeah, if you guys know, okay, fine, you took Pico 1. What are you playing? Okay, I'll give you that answer too. And what am I playing? I am playing on here Brave Battle Saga, because every once in a while you just got to dive in and then take a little whatever. I'm playing Canon, even though I've got a game that I started completion questing and I didn't finish. Terrible, I know. I still play that every once in a while. The one I played the most out of here, though, to be very honest, is whatchamacallit, is Water Margin. Because Water Margin is basically like, like advanced Double Dragon with like swords and like magic and all that kind of stuff. Like a like Golden Axe kind of thing. It's so good. It's such a great game. It's almost worthy of being in a cart by itself. Water Margin. I really, really, really love that game. And I'll run through it just about once, like a trip. I will probably play it from start to finish at least once during the trip, probably twice. But then, you've got a whole bunch of other games that you can play on here. You got Top Racer if you wanted to play some other stuff. You got Magic Girl, which is pretty cool. You got Tin Head, which is awesome. Every once in a while, I'll try to figure out how to play Nightshade and try to play that one again. But other than that, you got your powerhouses, you got your RPGs, your strategy RPGs, and then again, what else do you want? And the other cart, and sadly, I don't have the case for it because it's one of my loose ones that survived the flood. Is of course Indie Heroes 1. Indie Heroes 1. And the reason why I take Indie Heroes 1 is because I want to go through all of them. So while I'm on a trip, I'll just pick one. Last trip was what was it? It was Quest Arrest, and I finished the game while I was traveling. And then I actually finished the Game of the Month because the Game of the Month dropped right before the trip. So I finished Quest Arrest on the way down and the other one on the way back up or something like that, which was pretty crazy. So, or was it Quest Arrest to Florida and then Florida to where we were going was the other game. Yeah, and then I played something else on the way home. But anyway, so that was it. But Indie Heroes 1 always, because I haven't finished all of the games yet, so I'm going to go through and I'm trying to finish all of the games. And what better way to do it than try to plug away while you're on a trip? So that's it. That's what I do. And that's what I will be doing. I'm going to take Pika 1. I'm going to take Indie Heroes 1. And eventually, I'm going to finish that stuff. I'm going to be long done with Brave Battle and Canon and all that kind of stuff. And yes, I will eventually upgrade. Probably to Pico 3. I'll skip 2 because it's all sports games. And go to Indie Heroes 2 and then Indie Heroes 2 to Indie Heroes 3, like that kind of stuff. That's what I'm going to do. It's like all indie stuff. I love playing the indie stuff because some of those games are short. A lot of those games are puzzle platformer-esque. And it's pretty cool. And that's it. So that's what I do. I know I don't have like this fancy stuff. I actually had the VS ready to rock. It was me closing the lid. It was me ready to rock, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I opened the case to Pika 1, and I was like, oh, that's right. My white VS is in its case, and it's in the office, which is not here. So anyway, that's what I got for you there. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below. What do you think of my pick? And let me know, too, about this week's prompt, which we're going to be back and ready to answer by next week as well for a nice little Sunday action. The game question, yes, because it is another game question, is, so say you're going to your destination. Say, you're back in the day, it's a staycation, or you're going to a place and you're in there for the long haul. It doesn't have to be travel. It could just be like, oh, I got out of school. The question is, what is that summer long haul game? The one that got you through until the next school year. So think back in time. Go all the way back to the NES, the SNES, the Genesis, the PlayStation, whatever you guys were playing back in the day, even college. What was that summer long haul game? You got your reprieve. You don't have to do schoolwork. You're sitting down. You're going to plow through a game all summer long. What is that game? What is the game? Sometimes maybe even your friends come over, you help out, you start hanging out, you're just like chilling while you're playing whatever it is. It's probably like an RPG or like a platformer that just came out that summer or whatever. What is it? What is that game? What is that game? I know I've got a few. And one of them, the one I think I'll pick is going to be the one that I'm going to tell a little story about. So story time with Rich next time on the answer, which is going to be pretty awesome. And of course, I'm looking forward to your guys' answer on this question as well. So get in the comments below to answer what is your summer long haul game. Remember, get those answers in by 2 p.m. EST on Saturday, just a little bit after the Evercast. All answers will be read from this video. So make sure they're in this video's comment section or in the community tab posting when I let everyone know that, hey, this is the video. You can put it in the comments of the community tab as well. I will put them for both places, but no others. If you have videos, though, that you want to share, something specific that you don't want me to go hunt down or whatever, that is cool. But hit me up on Twitter or Facebook for that, and then just send me a link to like the video that you want me to use or whatever. So my answer also will be provided in the video as well, as always. So all you guys go first, and then it's time for me to give you my answer, and then hooray. It'll be pretty cool. We'll have a nice little conversation. And the community prompts, of course, will continue. So thank you guys all so much for the participation in this. Thanks so much for just like hanging out. This, like I said, these videos, these chill videos, they're just hanging out, talking about games and like that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. And to be honest, it might actually change some of these things. You know, if I could get my hands on something that's portable that'll play Skyforce, I might give it a Huey. Man, I don't know what's going on there. I might give it a whirl. Of course I'm going to be playing some Evercade, so Phantom and I are in sync right there. And levels, I might actually just put levels on my phone, just in case all sorts of crazy stuff breaks down and the EXP decides to not read discs anymore or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I'm trapped. I got to do something. Maybe levels will save me. I don't know. But hopefully you guys are having a good time with me. Let me know down below. Of course, either way, leave likes, leave dislikes, leave all those fun things. But of course, definitely leave comments, because this is the community prompt. This is the prompt for you guys to let me know what is up. So with all that being said, we're at the end of a video here on Bacon Ice Cream Productions. We got to do one thing and one thing only, and that is also thank the members of the Good Times Club. So let's do that right now. Let's thank the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Phantom Fiction. Thanks again. Skeletrex, Lidar Gem, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willie, Gunsy20, and Immortal Sojourn. Thank you guys all so much for the support, for watching, for everything you guys do. It's awesome. 1080p StreamYard happens because of you guys. It is really, really appreciated to make sure that we're giving you a high quality product, not just here, but over on the Evercade Effect. Yeah, that's right. You know, you're helping the Evercast out, you're helping Ed out, you're helping all those people out. As being members of the Good Times Club, can't thank you guys enough for that support. So until next time, we will catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich as I scroll down, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys, and we'll see you soon.
RTSC.baconicecream.com